Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, politicians challenged to help reduce aggression on the campaign trail. Valedictorian at the DSC commencement ceremony makes a call for resilience as she credits hard work and difficult circumstances for her academic success. And the Rosa Cathedral expected to be in use by December 2020. The details of the news coming up.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. Government has highlighted 4 key areas in which it wants the private sector to take a lead in developing. Here is Andrea Louis with more.
This comes out of a discussion held at the Dominica Business Forum (DBF) pre-budget consultation with members of government. Minister for Urban Renewal Joseph Isaac, who represented the Prime Minister of Skerrit at Wednesday's meeting, said several conversations were held with the Prime Minister, which revealed areas where the private sector should take the lead.
That is one, the marina development in Dominica, whether it is in the north or down on the southwest, that's in Roseau End, or in Portsmouth side, that's one initiative. Another initiative that he has been again discussing and grappling with is the issue of parking, where the private sector can take a lead or have some proposal where government and private sector can work together. Another one is in regards to real estate. Also, an area not just the Prime Minister but the Cabinet have been discussing is the issue of the opportunities that have lent itself in regards to the entire value chain of the hotel development in Dominica.
The necessary framework has already been put in place to ensure the private sector is successful in pursuing these ventures.
We have the laws and the policies in place to facilitate the private sector. And I just wanted to point out these 3 to 4 areas in which the Cabinet and the Prime Minister would be willing to engage to ensure the successful implementation of these areas there. There are many more. As I said, we come here also just to really listen, discuss, note, and to advise, and I've already advised that the best approach is to put what you distill here formally to the Minister of Finance.
Meantime, President of the DBF, Severin Mackenzie, who applauded the meeting with government officials, believes the private sector should have a greater role in helping to shape the budget due to the significance of its role in society.
Undoubtedly, the private sector is in fact the biggest employer in the country. You know, those of us who maybe employ one person who may just be a housekeeper, or those private sector companies who employ hundreds or dozens or scores of people. So we do make a significant contribution to the economy, and we are of the opinion that the national budget should in fact reflect some of the concerns of the private sector, or we should at least have an idea as to what is in store for us. We do not believe that budgets, national budgets, should be so close to the hearts of the policymakers that we have to wait for budget day to know what they are giving us.
A lesson for State College graduates that faith in God can be a catalyst to greater success in life. In an address that was certainly not traditional, the valedictorian at the DSC's graduation ceremony on Tuesday said she lived that experience. As she put it, it was time to be real. While she acknowledged that graduation day was the culmination of hard work, she took her audience back to her journey. She says news of her selection as valedictorian led her to appreciate the hardships that she had been through.
I thought about all of those nights when my mother, my sisters, and I would huddle on 2 mattresses on the cold floor and crack jokes until we were too happy and too tired to feel hungry. I thought about all of the times when we had to queue the groceries in the shop and tell the bus driver, I will pay you. I thought about all of the times when I had to miss days of school in high school because it was raining too hard in Warner and I couldn't afford an umbrella. Or when I had no food to go to school. Or when I didn't have shoes and I had to use my brogodo push-in to go to school. Or when the tank in Warner was empty and the drum was empty and rain wasn't falling and I couldn't bathe to go to school. Ladies and gentlemen, I sat and remembered all of those things. And I realized that if I could choose to live my life again, I would go through these things all over again because those hardships made me who I am today. Those hardships taught me that despite the billions of people who will turn away when others need help, there is a God who will never leave me nor forsake me, and He has carried me through.
Drawing inspiration from Dominica's resilience following Tropical Storm Eric and Hurricane Maria, Pending urged fellow graduates to persevere.
Keep standing. Even when everything is against you, keep standing. Even when people laugh at you, keep standing. Even when people don't like you, keep standing. Keep standing. Say it with me. Keep standing.
Pending received a special award for consistent academic excellence and participation in extracurricular and co-curricular activities, as well as community spirit and service leadership. The award was presented by Manager of Flow Dominica, Jeffrey Baptiste. The Minister for Education has appealed to the State College graduating class of 2019 to take responsibility for their own success. Honorable Peter Saint-Jean told graduates on Tuesday, while government is responsible for creating the enabling environment, the onus is on them to take action. The minister made the point that while graduates are ready to build solid futures for themselves, they should be creative as they seek to carve a niche for themselves in the global environment.
You will need, therefore, to think outside of the box. Do not limit yourselves to the traditional avenues of employment that may have you functioning way below your potential. Look instead to entrepreneurship as an alternative means of employment. Be that young person in your community who is not afraid to take a plunge into small business, eventually creating opportunities for other young people like yourself. If you are inclined towards a career in technical vocational education and training, then look towards the market, for it is growing and there is a need for skilled workers right here in Dominica.
Opportunities already exist at both secondary and tertiary level for students to pursue technical and vocational education.
We believe that education is about empowerment, and your accomplishments in education remains yours for life. We live in an age where our youth need to be equipped with varying skills in order to effectively compete and make a mark for themselves in their professional lives.
Decentralizing education and training in the country remains a key priority for government.
This means the establishment of satellite campuses at various secondary schools around the island to provide greater access to Dominican learners. There will be a heavy focus on skilled training for employability as we empower our young people with certification for jobs here in Dominica and further afield.
The roofing project of Our Lady of Haven Cathedral to be completed this month end. The project, which began a few years ago, saw many delays with the price of material and labor increasing to difficulties sourcing the material and having it shipped to Dominica. Dean of the Cathedral, Father Nigel Karam, says the building should be completely covered by the end of July, though another $4 million would be needed to fully refurbish its interior.
When the bishop gave his report at the end of last year, we would have raised about $8 million. 8 million EC dollars coming from various sources. And to complete in terms of furnishing and detailing and outfitting a cathedral in a manner that it should be outfitted, it's going to be another 4 million. We're hoping that the cathedral will be completely covered by the end of this month, if not before, July. Most of the work in terms of the covering of the cathedral, the roofing has been done. What is being done now is now the material. On top of the roof, of course, you have your, the material is being put on, which is the tiles. You have a steel tile being put on. So that hopefully should be completed by the end of this month, if not before.
The hope is to start having Eucharistic celebrations inside the Lady of Haven Cathedral by Christmas 2020.
With the weather conditions and so on, the insides, the flooring has deteriorated almost completely. So that has to be redone and outfitted with, I suppose, conduits for all kinds of different instrumentation, electricity, and so on. But hopefully we can accomplish this by the end of this year. We can accomplish the flooring and maybe cleaning so that even if the cathedral is not complete, that we can have Christmas Mass there. We can always get, you know, a generator and lights and so on, and we can have Mass inside there, you know, even if it's not complete, and then work from there. We can put chairs instead of pews and start something.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
TB estene et ben toussé, moun ki en bonne santé oli ouin ka respire se vermine la. Moun ki pani bon tempérament kon sa ki ni maladie HIV, alcool, ka fumé, ti mamay et grand moun bien sensible pour ces maladies ça là. Moun ki ka toussé ni pou prendre précaution le yo en parmi moun en place publique. Couvert bouche ou le ka estene et toussé. Visitez docteur et ben place santé. Fini tout traitement yo ba ou sa joine guérison et puis maladie TB. En responsabilité ou aider du bout de maladie TB et HIV, protéger corps et les autres.
Politicians have been challenged to use their influence to reduce high levels of aggression on the campaign trail. We go now to Andrea Louis for more.
General elections are constitutionally due in 2020, and election fever is high as the ruling Dominica Labour Party, DLP, and leading opposition United Workers' Party, UWP, began introducing new candidates to the public earlier this year. A lot has been said and done on the political campaign trail to raise concerns among Dominicans, including members of the Dominica Association of Evangelical Churches, DAEC. The DAEC is imploring politicians to be mindful of the language used in public settings as this further influences the behavior of their supporters.
There is an increase of stuff. It's almost like folks want to, the language, the tearing up, it's getting worse in that sense. Some of this thing can be curbed if our politicians all across the board learn to be proper in their language. The language sometimes we have in some of our rallies, in some of our stuff. It's not, it incites stuff in people. It says stuff, and then we wonder.
President of the DAEC, Pastor Randy Rodney, cautions the politicians to use their influence to curb aggression among the people during this tense election season.
If our politicians give leadership to this, we will not eliminate it altogether, but we will be able to curb it. If the rhetoric is toned down, if our politicians decide that we're going to talk about this without denigrating somebody else, guess what? Their supporters will follow suit. And we ask all of them to consider doing that.
The DAEC supports the regulations which govern election campaigning and advises everyone involved to follow these established laws.
We concur with the following positions of the Inter-Parliamentary Council meeting of 1994 in Paris, that every individual has the right to express political opinions without interference, to seek, receive, and impart information, and to make an informed choice, to move freely within the country in order to campaign for election, to campaign on an equal basis with other political parties, including the party forming the existing government. Every candidate for election and every political party shall have an equal opportunity of access to the media, particularly the mass communications media, in order to put forward their political views. We believe that all should seek to do right in this context.
A challenge to graduates of the Dominica State College to be tolerant in the pluralistic world they are about to live and work in. Keynote speaker at the 17th commencement ceremony of the Dominica State College, Father Herman Sharpless, told graduates, Christianity demands that we are witnesses to tolerance.
In Dominica today, many of you here will work among or with our Haitian brothers and sisters and other migrants to Dominica. A large number of you will migrate overseas to greener pastures or for higher education. Because people are traveling more and more and working in different countries, there is a strong need for information among the different cultures that exist. There is now a greater need for more schools, workplaces, and governments to insist on and teach tolerance.
Father Sharpless highlighted the need for greater tolerance in light of political differences in the country. He says in spite of one's political persuasion, there must be tolerance as it helps foster a society in which people feel valued and respected. He says tolerance is an essential aspect of a healthy, livable society in which there is room for every person, each with their own ideas, thoughts, and dreams.
Currently, we will all agree there is also greater need for political tolerance more than ever. You might be for this person or another might be for the opposing person. One might be for this group or party and another supports another group or party. Whatever our differences, tolerating a person's political opinion or belief is a prerequisite to a functioning and free society and country. We must learn to agree to disagree. We can debate and discuss the issues that affect us without the constant bashing, gutter politics that is aimed totally at one's personality and character. Most, and if not all, societies were built on the spirit of tolerance, kindness, respect, and love. Tolerance, as we define it, refers to the skills we need to live together peacefully. In times of peace, people have a chance to prosper socially, economically, and emotionally.
Sharpless noted that in the absence of tolerance, we have the opposite, which is war.
The first step in this process is to resent the other person and view them as your opponent and your enemy. The next is to demonize, label, define, and subject the other with all negative and inhuman names and definition. And the final step is to hate the person and cause those you can influence or who are your friends to treat them likewise. We have situations where you resent a person and you just cannot justify or explain why you don't like or why you resent that person. There are too many of these kinds of situations in our society today. And if we look at the world, even in the United States of America, we see that kind of tension.
Father Sharpless graduated in May of this year with a master's degree in canon law from St. Paul University in Ottawa, Canada. And summer is here, the heat is on, and it's going to get even hotter with Flow's summer campaign. It's all about winning cash weekly. All current and potential Flow customers need to do is to sign up for any Flow service.
Flow Evo, broadband, prepaid service, postpaid service, or if our customers port into Flow, you also qualify to win $500 a week. So we will break it down in a while as to all of the things that we're referring to. So we'll give you a bit of a breakdown, but we know what Flow Evo TV is. We know who has the super fast broadband in Dominica. We know which is the best network to port into at the moment, and we will be giving you all of that information as we go along. And you could get a chance to win $500 Laja Shesh.
Customers will also get a chance to win other prizes during Flowtastic Summer Fridays. We'll also be taking summer on the road to some of the hotspots around the island, giving customers an opportunity to win with Flow.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. To end the news, a look again at the headlines. Politicians challenged to help reduce aggression on the campaign trail. Valedictorian at the DSC commencement ceremony makes a call for resilience as she credits hard work and difficult circumstances for her academic success. And the Rosa Cathedral expected to be in use by December 2020. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You may access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.